Hey ballers, welcome to If These Balls Could Talk, the podcast that wants to pitch slap Aaron Rodgers for delaying a decision and being an over-dramatic douchebag.
Just that guy.
This is Mark, along with John and our producer Pete, and we're getting ready to discuss the latest in sports, tech, and pop culture. If you like what you hear or see, please like us or hit that subscribe button, or as apparently only I like to say, tickle that little bell.
It's gross, Mark. It's just gross.
We welcome to the podcast for the first time, Herson Martinez. What's going on, Herson?
What's going on? Thank you guys for having me.
What's up, dude?
For those that don't know, Herson and I work real estate together, and that's how I know him. And he's he's gonna get along with us great. I have a feeling, especially when we get into the Marvel stuff, guys.
But does he have 12 jobs like you do?
No. But he's
at one point
he's
in my
hustler.
life I did.
Yeah.
I don't more.
Anyway, John, how you been?
I just saw my favorite almost 1.5-year-old at Pete's house. He was telling everyone where to sit and also what to eat and also what to do. So I think we're in for it.
Steph showed
Jamie
me the
and
new
I
dance suit that he invented with you guys.
Yeah,
too.
he invented a honky tonk grab your belt dance, which he did numerous times, and so that was awesome. Jamie and I fought up with a rookie. I don't know if I talked about it, but that show is amazing. I asked Stephanie for suggestions on serial week-to-week shows because that's what Jamie likes now, and I think we're gonna start Buffy.
Ooh,
like strong women, like kind of contained shows. I don't know if she'll get over the mid to late 90s practical effects, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
The first season is really rough. For that. It gets better.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah.
So
that just reminds me of when Dean Cain was Superman. What was it? The
Lois and Clark.
Adventures of Lois and Clark.
Yeah.
And whenever he flew, or pretended to fly,
it looked so bad.
Fucking cheesy. Yeah. He was just like, whoa.
The only thing that I remember,
Terry Hatcher, man.
That's
what I remember from
about
Lois and Clark.
But the only thing I remember about that is they made his suit the neckline was down here. It looked really weird. If you,
that's probably when V-necks were in. They was trying to emphasize the V-necks.
But that was worse than that. Wasn't even a V. It was I don't know what that was. It was like a giant U.
U-neck.
Something.
Pete, are you going to invent the U-neck?
The U-neck.
Oh,
that sounds way too close to eunuch. I don't think that's going to fly.
It does. Everything's fine though, Mark. How was I think that you had the most exciting week. So how was your vacation?
I did.
Yeah.
So we were off last week because I was in Cabo with some friends of ours for a birthday party, and it was just phenomenal. The weather was in the 80s the entire time we were there. We had this villa that was looked out in the ocean. Just
Can you talk
amazing.
about the infinity pool at least a little bit?
I mean, it was an infinity pool. What's more? What more is there to talk about?
I mean, that's pretty baller. I'm just saying.
I will say the water during the day felt like bath water, but it was really nice at nighttime because it was warm and it did get a little chilly at night.
We want the tea, Mark. Who threw up in the pool?
Nobody threw up in the pool, but just about everyone threw up after the boat.
Did you eat the worm?
Oh. Really?
I was the worst one of all of them, which you'll hear more about that, Herson, when we were in the office. I was already not doing very well before we got to the boat, and then the boat just made it even worse. And I as soon as we cast off, I let go of all the evil.
Oh,
but it was
God.
I don't know if that was from the night before or the fact I get motion sick real easily. So we had a kind of a rough cab ride and then just on the boat.
Have you been on Have you been on boats before?
I've been on boats before. Yeah. Our broker, he has a boat. Oh, yeah, our broker, he has a boat. I've been on his boat a few times, and I haven't Ralphed then. But that particular day was not a good day for me.
Oh, no.
The Pacific, the tides of the Pacific are a lot rougher than they are by us. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, Pacific is nuts.
We while we were going to our first spot that we were just gonna stop and relax, and some asshole, I guess, made some real big waves, and I swear we caught 10 feet in the air. And but at that time, I was not feeling well, so there was a bedroom, and I was just laying my head down, but I could fucking feel us go so high in the air.
I remember the waves in Manzanillo,
our,
which is just south of Cabo. That was like that too. It was ridiculous. Like you look at him, you're just like, oh my god, like this beach is open.
And someone on the boat was being like, he was being an ass. I mean, it's all right. And Herson could probably figure out who this is afterwards, but he was just saying, here, just drink this. You'll feel better. Just drink this. And he was doing the entire time. It's like, you'll feel so much better.
That seems right.
Although at a certain point, I then, on the way back, it happened again. And I looked right at him. It's like, you did this to me.
Oh, yeah.
That sucks.
Always got to play the blame game. The best way.
That's right. You're a man. It's not your fault.
That's right. Nope. Not when it comes to these vacations. Someone else's fault.
Pete, how are things with you?
Quick aside before we move on. The only time I got sick on a boat was in the Bahamas. We went on a catamaran. It was very early in the morning. Melanie, my wife, was like, you should eat breakfast. It's included, whatever. So I had a reasonable sized breakfast. I got on the catamaran. We sat on the front, like, you know, in the catamaran between the two blades, they have like a net. They let you sit on the net. It's nice, and you get wet. Big. I was like, my hands are tingling a little bit. That's weird. That's never happened before. I don't get motion sick. I don't get seasick or car sick. And all of a sudden, I'm like, Melanie, I'm going to vomit.
Oh, no.
So catamarans are fast. And so what you learn, don't vomit off the side of the boat, vomit off the back of the boat. Well, I wasn't going to make it. And so I went to the side of the boat, and I was like, I heard while I was vomiting, oh, man, don't do that, man. And so anyway, I figured out that I should row in the back of the boat for the rest of the boat ride, and so I did. You're supposed to watch the horizon because it doesn't change, but that didn't help.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Gotcha.
Pete, how are you?
So I didn't go on a boat, but we did have a well-deserved, needed mental kind of day off. Steph and I took on Friday, and I've just been working my ass off, and it's been rough. And we haven't had a day where it was just the two of us, Liam at daycare, and we weren't like busy traveling somewhere or visiting friends or something. Like we haven't had a day like that pretty much since he was born, and he's like a year and a half now. So it was really nice.
A whole year and a half. Ask me the last time I went on a date with my wife. Ask me.
Well, it was nice to have.
When was the last time you had a date?
I don't remember.
You guys used to be really good at that too, like always having a date night.
Hey, let us know. We can have Jamie over. And
anyway,
but
continue.
It was nice though. So like, well, you'd expect most couples or people to like take that and just go to a movie or something. We're like, well, there aren't really any good movies. Like, let's hike a freaking mountain. So we did. So we just hiked.
Nice.
I mean, it was a shorter trail, but it was still a nice little summit hike. There was snow on the top of it. It was raining. We didn't care. We were just having so much fun. It was like, wasn't a physical rest day. It was a mental rest day. So it was nice to like get out there and just do something.
It's the most Pete thing you've ever said.
Yes. And afterwards, we went down to Saratoga because we were north of there, and just found a nice restaurant. Had some delicious like sandwiches and beer, and walked around and shopped a little bit. So it was a bunch of fun.
That's awesome, man. You deserve it.
It's a good time.
All right, hey everyone. Why did the yoga instructor light a candle?
Why, Mark?
Okay.
To help everyone warm up their chakras. It's time for warm up your balls.
Hey, so Pete, if you give me you just stall for a minute.
Yeah, no problem.
I can stall a little bit too. So during the segment, Pete will spin the wheel that will randomly select the question for our guest to answer. And Herson, so we will not see the wheel on the Discord, but what will happen is Pete will spin it on his machine, and then he'll just kind of announce what the question is.
Yes. And the object of this too is, Herson, you have, as our guest, you have first dibs on these questions. So it's a little bit of us getting to know you through the questions too.
And I try to change them up all the time. Like any questions that we've asked on a previous show, it gets taken off of our little spinning wheel, and then we add on more.
Who created the spinning wheel?
So the wheel itself is a free online thing?
Well, I mean, okay, Mark and John populate the wheel with the questions.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
the wheel.
Hey Pete, you should refresh your page right now.
I will refresh the page right now.
Oh, good. We stalled just enough.
I was gonna play like a stupid time sync quiz song.
I don't know. I also don't know how long it takes to update, so maybe refresh twice.
I'll do it again. We could spin one and see what it says.
That's all right. That's fine.
See it on the live stream.
You can kind of see.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay,
just
here
go
we
ahead
go.
and do it.
We're gonna spin the wheel, guys. Okay. Let me see if this is a question from the current wheel. If you could spend a day in someone else's shoes, whose would they be and why?
Now, is this fictional or?
It could be
whatever
fictional
you
I guess
or
it
real.
could be both.
Fictional or real.
Yeah. Your
All
choice.
right, gotta clarify. Let's see. If I could spend a day in someone else's shoes,
Maybe do one fiction and one nonfiction.
All right. I guess this is the obvious one. Batman would be
Yeah.
my first pick.
Be yourself, unless you can be Batman. Then be Batman.
Yeah, absolutely. If you choose anything but Batman, then I got to question you.
Herson's got the Batman symbol outside of his office.
I do.
Oh, nice.
My office door has the Batman symbol on there.
Amazing.
Do we need to get you an actual bat signal?
I think we do. That's where I was going to go next. We need some kind of bat projection. Bat symbol projection.
Now the question is, do I really have to describe why? I think we all know why.
I mean, it's freaking Batman. Come on.
Yeah, it's Batman.
I mean, you got a cave with a bunch of futuristic electronics. You got a car with a rocket engine on the back of it. Come on.
I literally will take that 24 hours of no sleep and enjoy it and indulge and everything.
I mean, do we like
vigilante crime?
Do we like detective Batman though? Do you like when Bruce Wayne is out solving crime, or do you like Batman? You want to punch villains in the face?
But my 24 hours in his shoes would have nothing to do with that, and everything else he does.
So you just want to be a billionaire?
Nah, not necessarily the billionaire part. Just
one of my favorite parts of Iron Man 2 is when Tony is on the stand and he's like, well, I'm also a playboy billionaire philanthropist. So
yeah. That's the most badass thing you can say.
Yep.
Herson, what do you think of the latest Batman with Robert Pattinson?
That's what I'm saying. Detective Batman.
So I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I was a fan of it because of what John just said. It was a different take than what I'm used to for all the other Batmans. I appreciated the whole detective aspect of it, kind of trying to figure it out as the movie goes on. But who the hell this guy is?
Did it remind you a little bit more of Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask if it reminded you a little bit of Batman the Animated Series from the 90s.
So that's what I was just gonna say. I appreciate when the movies kind of just copy and paste what was already created. They already wrote it once and it was great. Just copy and paste that. So the animated movie that it resembled, it was almost spot on. So yeah, I enjoyed it that much more because of it.
Nice.
Now I had trouble with that movie the first time, a little bit because it was just very, very dark for dark's sake. But when they tried to make Riddler Joker, they tried to make him this unattainable villain character, and that was a little bit. And then shoehorning Catwoman in, I was just this is a lot. There's a lot going on.
I don't know. I disagree. I really liked Paul Dano as a Riddler. I thought that was an interesting take on it because I mean it was different. I mean Jim Carrey as a Riddler is definitely. You can't really match that, right?
We don't need stupid. The days in the early 90s and the late 80s of stupid superhero movies, I don't need that from my superhero movies.
I love Jim Carrey as a Riddler.
I know, but I have a feeling if you watch Batman Forever now, it probably does not hold up as well as
that movie is bad. That's a bad film.
Awful. It's awful.
Awful film.
I can't watch. It doesn't have any replay value.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen it, I'd say just watch the animated one. Batman Hush, and maybe that'll give you a different take on it.
And you want to know something else? What's it face? Mark Hamill killed the silly Joker. The silly Joker in Batman the Animated Series, the Mark Hamill Joker, is the best Joker by far.
Well, because it was silly
series. Hold on.
Oh my god, I don't remember that.
Yeah, he was.
The best Joker in animated series, right?
Yes, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
The best.
thanks.
We're not talking about Dark Knight. Dark Knight's a different film.
Best
Okay,
animated voiced Joker, we'll say that.
Yeah.
We're talking about silly Jokers, not dark Jokers.
But
right?
I think
he was
Hamill,
silly, but also
Hamill blended like psychotic with the silly, which is how I think it should
so
be.
Fucking
Well,
good.
most people didn't know that was him too.
I know.
So
It
good.
was just fucking amazing. All right,
Yeah.
we should move on.
Yeah, all right.
I guess we should have had a
Sorry, guys.
Batman topic.
I know,
5
right?
minutes, man.
No, spin the wheel.
I'm not
Sorry.
keeping that in, but it was funny.
Come on. All right, fine. What's one movie you could watch over and over without getting bored, aside from Batman?
Oh, that's the easy one. Wait. I guess it is Batman versus Superman.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
No, I think
well-
that counts. I think that counts. Even
You
though
like
Ben
that?
Affleck.
I still have to
Well,
see
like,
that
we're-
one.
You
Well,
like
I'm
the
talking
Snyder
about-
movies?
Oh, I love the Snyder movies. Anything
Interesting.
Snyder.
Okay.
I think my favorite
Interesting.
Snyder movie is Watchmen. Like, I think that's
I
my
mean-
favorite movie of all
That was a
that's
great movie.
time. Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
but
That's
if I
how he
had to
tricked
pick
everyone to
something
give him
non-Batman-
the DC universe.
If I had to pick something non-Batman for conversation's sake, it would be Infinity War, the first one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
that was very entertaining.
Yeah, pretty much all the Phase 3 movies I could watch again.
yeah, definitely.
Infinity War is very
And
much
I
the
have.
Empire Strikes Back
Oh, yeah.
of those Avengers saga, right?
Oh,
Like it
yeah.
was the
Yes.
probably the best written, the darkest. It's always interesting
love-
when the good guys don't win.
Oh yeah.
I also love a film with a relatable
painful.
villain, and a relatable villain that is also a murderous sociopath, right? Like Thanos is a bad guy, but you're like, I get it, Thanos.
He had multiple layers.
Yeah,
That one statement.
He loved Gamora.
many of them
Yeah.
were purple. What do you say?
I just say one statement. Thanos was right.
Ooh.
You know, you
Now-
were not wrong with that.
I got another question.
Very
now.
hot take.
Here's another question. If you can reshape reality with the Infinity Gauntlet, why doesn't he just double the food or quadruple the food and the resources?
The universe
took
would
the-
collapse. Actually,
why?
Yeah.
too much matter.
Science.
Science. I was just gonna say science.
Stuff would just start falling into each other. Yeah, you know.
So,
There's
and
that.
Black
Herson
holes
probably
would
knows,
collide, stuff
Herson
would
probably knows
explode.
this, but the reason that he didn't do that in the comics is because he did definitely want to kill half the people because he had the hots for death.
I was gonna say he had a not just a moralistic reason, right? It was like a personal thing.
No, he just wanted death to date him.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like it became personal, less like philosophy. And that's in the
Yeah. The
The
comic, right?
Mad Titan, straight up.
Yeah.
I like a lot of films. I'll watch Fast Five a lot. I'll watch Fast
Five
Five.
has
if-
been my favorite.
That's
Yeah,
probably,
I'll watch Fast Five if it's on. That movie's good, straight up.
yeah, that's probably I want to be the best one in the series.
Yeah, and then all the ones people say, like I'll watch Shawshank if it's on. If I have a lot of time, that movie's great. Godfather 1 and 2, great films, just good, right? Anything, everywhere, all at once, very rewatchable. That movie's
Ooh.
awesome.
I'd say the
Yes.
Lord of the Rings trilogy for me.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Our friend and on the show once, Steve, he
or
watches the Lord of the
Terminator
Rings
2.
trilogy with his friends every year. I think they watch it long form.
Really?
That might
They
be a
just
bit
spend a whole
much.
day. They spend a whole day watching it because they like it so much.
So much.
Terminator 2 would be if you want one single movie that's always one of my favorites. Or Aliens. Oh fucking A.
Oh yes.
Gotta love me some James Cameron.
When I rewatch Aliens, I'm amazed at the amount of like humanity one-liners, like things that people say in conversation that come from that film.
Oh yeah.
And it's like pop, 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 like a lot of things. I don't know. They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
Yeah. All right, one more.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my phone. I got
All right. This is kind of going on the same theme here, guys. What movie are we most looking forward to this year?
The one I was almost gonna go watch
2
tonight,
weeks.
and then I forgot about
I think we may have a topic on this too.
2 weeks. Was that Thunderbolts? Oh yeah.
What were you going to say, though? Because obviously that's not what you were going to say.
No, I'll be honest. I'm a Marvel guy, and that's like bottom of the list for me this year. Just because it's bottom of the list for me right now. Well, so tonight there's a movie that I almost booked for 9 a.m. 9 p.m. That movie with Michael B. Sinners that drops tonight.
Oh, that looks very good.
The hype on that has.
What's the name of that one?
The Queen. It's called Sinners. It's about vampires. The Queen of Buffalo is in it. Haley's in it.
Oh, hey. Oh, yeah,
that's right. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes everywhere.
Yeah,
like, I'm trying to stay off the website because everyone's talking about it.
Gotcha. Yeah, you don't.
And so the anticipation has just like risen for that, and I'm like, all right, I gotta go catch this shit.
So the cast is bananas.
I'll probably see it tomorrow. Yeah. I'll probably see it tomorrow.
What do you guys think of the Superman one coming up? The James Gunn one.
It's gonna be bad.
I'm not even watching it. I'll watch it at home.
No, I'm gonna watch it. I love I'll watch every bad superhero movie.
I gotta give every Superman movie a chance. Just because, like, when I was a kid, the original one, like the Richard Donner ones were, I always
James Gunn is very good at screenwriting. He's a very good screenwriter. He is, he is. And I think that it will be cheeky enough to be good. I think he's going cheeky, right? I don't know.
It definitely seems a little silly compared to some
firing Cavill to hire a less attractive kid who looks like Cavill seems short-sighted.
Yeah, I didn't mind the Superman movie that Snyder did.
Man of Steel.
I thought Cavill was. I liked Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I thought Cavill was awesome in it. Yeah.
And like Herson said, Batman versus Superman has some moments that are redeemable. It's pretty good.
I still need to watch that. I've heard
Justice
there's a better
League
cut though, right? Is there like a specific cut you need to watch of that?
Yeah, the full length cut makes way more
4-hour
sense.
extended version.
Okay.
No, there is a extended version of Batman versus Superman that is good, and there is an extended version of Justice League that's long. It's very long.
Yeah, very long.
So
wait, there's a freaking Mortal Kombat movie coming out this year.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently. Mortal Kombat 2. It's like
anymore.
Only like 30 years later.
I mean, they did one 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago they did one.
They did?
Yeah, they did
Yeah,
one.
it was during COVID.
Oh.
They do them occasionally.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like I remember the one from the 90s. Okay.
No, they did one during COVID.
I'm personally looking forward to the final Mission Impossible.
Oh,
that one's coming out next month.
Will it be the final?
Really, Herson, by the way, we need to see that. Definitely need to see that in IMAX.
Yeah, I'll book it for us.
But I mean, as much as I think that Tom Cruise is a lunatic, I do love his movies, and I've been a big fan of all the Mission Impossible movies.
He does do some batshit crazy stunts.
I think, however, finally, he looks a little old.
Yeah, I think he is.
The series is 30 years old.
Yeah, dude, but he looks a little old. And like, okay,
half
so
those
in
films
this
budget,
time,
half those films' budgets are spent beautifying him to make him look better.
In this time, like, okay, maybe it's Ethan Hunt's like maybe the director of the agency, and there's like a younger, stronger, handsomer guy being the main spy. I don't know.
That sounds like a terrible movie.
Well, I mean, isn't that what they do with James Bond, right? You kind of retire from that, and then a new James Bond takes their place.
Well, I was gonna say it sounds like what they were trying to do with Top Gun 2, and he goes, "No, I'm gonna be the main guy anyways."
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
He's like, "I'm using my plane." They're like, "Okay, Tom, whatever, man."
And I'm just gonna be.
But I have 5,000 licenses. I need to use them all in one movie.
Right.
Yeah, he does.
All right, guys.
All right. And now, coming in hotter than turf burn in July, the only segment where Fury meets fiction at the goal line of Pete's patience. It's time for What Grinds Pete's Balls. ChatGPT may have thought of that one.
I definitely knew that was AI, by the way, Mr. Man.
All right. So, guys, I'm a little bit conflicted on this segment about always complaining about stuff, but I do kind of have a complaint, and it's that this specific show doesn't have much talk about football, even though the draft is coming up in like a week. So I think we need to talk about it a little bit. So I had an idea, and this is kind of off the cuff. First, I was thinking maybe we could just talk about it.
It's your segment, Pete. We can talk about whatever you want.
Yeah. So I wanted to run, each of the respective teams that we follow and like. I wanted to see what you guys think, who you think they should pick, but who you think they'll actually pick. And I'm wondering if maybe in the background here, if I can set up like a draft simulator and we pick for our respective teams for the first round. And I'll have it auto draft. Well, you have an auto draft.
32nd?
30th. I wish I was picking 32nd. That mean we won the freaking Super Bowl.
I mean, well, I guess John should probably be on the clock first. He has the number 3 pick, of which Cam Ward seems to be going number 1, and
Cam Ward's going number 1.
It sounds like Travis Hunter's going number 2. So, do the Giants pick Shedeur Sanders?
I don't want Shedeur.
That's a reach at 3.
I think he is overvalued at 3, and honestly, I don't see him going in the top 10 anymore because his stock is way down.
I don't get all of this talk. Herson, have you heard about this? Like Shedeur Sanders, like he was at one point the number 2 pick, and now people are saying he might not even make it out of or he might drop to the second round.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if he drops to the second round because people love starting quarterbacks, and there's a lot of teams that need them.
Quarterbacks.
I think that covers. I think. Well, so I was just gonna mention. I think what we've noticed over the last few years is that everyone's picking these starting quarterbacks and just throwing them in the limelight so fast. We did it with our guy, and he fucking sucked for 2 years, and wasn't towards the end of the season where he actually started making some throws.
And I was like, he's a tiny little peanut of a man.
No, absolutely. He could barely see over the line, is what I said. Everything got swatted down. But I think, as much I'm not a Patriots fan at all, but Tom Brady has made some good points that these quarterbacks are just not being developed properly at all, and everyone's just expecting them to come out the gate being this next superstar to save a team, and it's not happening.
I mean, but there's guys that do that. Like that's what Burrow did. Burrow came in and led them to the Super Bowl.
But Burrow,
first year.
Some guys that can do that.
Burrow did have a kind of iffy year his first year. So did Josh Allen. But with those two, the potential was there. Lamar, on the other hand, I feel like he kind of came out on fire immediately. Like he was like, "Let's go." But he looked like the best QB out of that class.
Bryce going 1.
And he's still honestly like one of the best.
Bryce should have never went 1. Never.
No, that was
and
too soon.
I think Shedeur is good, but he's a system quarterback, pocket passer. He doesn't really make
that.
Yeah, but he's not. He doesn't make plays that don't develop. Right. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's that smart. I don't think he goes. I hope he doesn't go 3. I would rather Jackson Dart like days ahead of Shedeur Sanders if they're going to pick a quarterback at 3.
Jackson Dart, I don't think is going to make it to the second round. So
I don't think he's not going to make it to the second round ever. But I think that the Giants are really they want to be the Steelers. They want to be the Giants of the early aughts where they want to be a dominant defense, and they picked up a lot of defensive pieces. So I really think at this point they pick up Abdul Carter, and I would be very happy. I would be very happy with Abdul Carter at 3, who is the best defensive guy in the draft. He is as best position as Travis Hunter is, but on the defensive side of the board, I think he's the best defensive player in the draft, so I hope they pick him.
Well, guess what, John? He's available for you at pick number 3, according to this, and you're on the clock.
Hey, yeah, Abdul Carter, baby.
I see that. I think that's what they should do. Do I think that's what the Giants are going to do?
Oh,
no,
shit.
I don't.
No, I'm sorry.
I think they're going to grab
I thought you were saying
quarterback.
Travis Hunter. No, Carter went second. I'm sorry. Cleveland too.
Oh, then Travis Hunter.
Okay.
I don't want any other quarterbacks.
I know. Well,
Carter,
no. I said that the Browns are going to pick Hunter. I think the Browns are going to pick Hunter. They're not going to pick up
Tennessee grabbed Cam Ward 1 first overall. Do you think that's going to happen?
Oh wait, are you looking at the draft now? That's what happens.
I'm doing a mock draft right now.
Isn't tonight? Oh wait, no,
it's next Thursday.
Week is the actual. Next week is the actual.
This is why we're doing this now. We're doing a mock draft, pretending to draft for our team. Mark, you're on the clock at 4.
Cam Ward will go 1. I don't want Shedeur Sanders at 3, so either Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter.
Can I share this with you guys so you can see it?
Put it on your little website page.
You're running the show, Pete.
It is on the website page. Oh, here.
I'm saying like on the view you have with the internet.
Moving on to the Pats. I think the Pats, what they're going to do at number 4, they probably should select an offensive lineman. Now, if the Giants do happen to pick Shedeur Sanders because they're that stupid, then
they didn't. In this case, they picked Travis Hunter.
Then essentially Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter falls down to them, and that's who they probably should pick. Travis Hunter would be a better pick. I don't think Travis Hunter is going to fall to the Patriots, but
no, I would like him to the Patriots.
But they definitely need O-line help. With that being said, though, I actually think the Pats should trade that pick and get multiple first-round picks somehow if they can do that.
Okay, I don't think I'm allowed to trade because I'd have to pay this website to do it. So we're gonna have to stick with 4. So Cam Ward, Carter, and Hunter are gone.
To be honest, I don't know which offensive lineman that they should pick because I don't really study offensive lineman. By the way, but Will Campbell is probably going to be the one that they choose. I mean,
he's a tackle, right? He's who they're saying.
That's who they're saying is the best offensive lineman. All right.
So we're going Will Campbell for the Patriots.
Herson's on the clock because
Herson on the clock at 8.
6? 8?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Go ahead.
We're at 8, and I have no idea who. I would.
Well, I guess
I'll tell you who just went.
Name a position.
Yeah, I would say a running back. I don't need a wide receiver that this guy can't throw to.
So,
the last 2 years we were doing all defensive. Like, give me a good running back that can make something happen in the offense.
Okay, we got a lot. I mean, we got Trevian Henderson, Caleb Johnson, Dylan Sampson, Cam Scattaboo, Amarian Hampton. The only one taken.
Janty is the right choice.
Ashton
Janty would be if he was still there, but the Raiders took him at 6.
Unfortunately,
they just signed Rico Dowdle.
Janty got picked number 6 by the Raiders. So you got
in the mock draft.
In the mock draft we're doing. So he's the only. He's every other running back's out there though. Judkins. There's a ton of good ones.
The next one up because Ashton Janty is the only one that I kind of like knew a little bit about.
Ashton Janty, by the way,
he's amazing.
Yesterday compared himself to Saquon Barkley and said he would do the things that Saquon Barkley did. So maybe he's just an asshole.
I don't know.
Give me that type of confidence.
Have you given up on Jonathan Brooks then? Because Jonathan Brooks was supposed to be your big running back. But he decides he doesn't need his ACLs because he just keeps tearing them.
Yeah, he's fallen way down the line.
Yeah, no, and
Amarian Hampton is the number 2 guy.
Yeah, Hampton is the next guy
in the draft right now.
He's the next guy that I have on the board.
Give me that guy.
We're going Hampton. Okay.
I'm gonna have to look him up because I don't know too much. But
North Carolina, he doesn't have very far to go.
He's a Tar Heel.
He probably love you can. That's like a match made in heaven right there for Carolina.
Actually, really is.
All right, we're going down to 30.
Right, Bills are on the clock.
Bills are on the clock. Okay, so my first thought would be, what do we got on defensive tackle here? Because that's probably where I should go.
Not defensive end?
No, they need tackle more.
Okay.
Because Rasul Douglas is not Rasul Douglas. Who am I thinking of?
Ed Oliver?
No, Oliver's in the interior, but he's the only decent interior lineman they have. Yeah, DT. I mean, like a one technique DT.
You're thinking of Roussard? Is that what his name is?
Rousseau is the other edge, and they have Joey Bosa, who, if it pans out, is going to be great.
I forgot they signed Joey Bosa.
Yeah, they got 2 other edge rushers.
I love how they get rid of Von Miller and sign Joey Bosa.
By the way, Joey Bosa's washed. That's a bad trade.
The Bills have a monopoly on washed up edge rushers.
I don't think it was a trade. No, it was a free agent pickup.
No, it was a free agent pickup.
Yeah, and it's a pretty team friendly contract too. They're not paying him much.
So the thing I'm looking at on CBS Sports, Pete, says defensive lineman Derek Harmon, who is 6'5", 310 out of Oregon.
I think Tyreek Williams might be the better. Like, they need a one technique, like a massive, like, just
your head's
brick
in the right
wall.
place.
So I'm thinking Tyreek Williams here. I'd love to, like, let me just see what wide receivers are out there still.
There's not a lot of good wide receivers in this draft class.
There are some.
Like I would love the Patriots to choose a wide receiver in the first round, which is actually one of the reasons why I think they should trade down.
Okay, so
because
I would have taken Luther Burden, but the Lions took him at 28.
All right, so
we're gonna
let's
go
just
D-line.
say the Giants go Abdul Carter and both Shatter's gone. No, Shatter's not going to go. I don't know who goes at 2.
Oh, so guess
Hunter.
who?
No, by Hunter.
Guess who picked Shatter? It's the most. The
Steelers.
No, it's worse. The
Saints?
Worse.
Well, I don't believe this mock draft then.
The Jets took him at 7.
No. That mock draft is terrible.
That mock draft is terrible. That mock draft doesn't know that they just signed Justin Fields.
Did your 1.5-year-old son come up with that mock draft, Pete? Come on.
Yeah, but is Fields really like your franchise, answer
Maybe?
for the next 10 years? I don't know.
He's young. He's still young.
He's hella athletic and talented. I know. I just don't know if he has the arm.
He's a fucking playmaker, Justin Fields.
I love Justin Fields. I just don't know if he's got the arm to really carry a franchise, and the Jets need a lot of help.
I mean, that team has a clear RB1 and a clear WR1. Clear. Far and away. They just need an offensive line.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if the Jets are really going to be all that competitive, but Justin Fields as a fantasy quarterback, I think is going to be he's going to be a sleeper, I think, next year.
Yeah.
He is one tackle away from being out the league. I think
they all are. They all are, though.
Yeah. I mean,
all right.
So that's our mock.
Pete, close it out.
All right. I had fun. I hope you all did too. So this is a little bit of primer. We're gonna see the draft next week, Thursday night for round 1. And thanks PFF for humoring us there. Hopefully we don't copyright infringe us, and if so, we'll just put a big black box over the website there.
Herson, who dies first, Anthony Richardson or Justin Fields?
Damn.
Richardson's so much bigger,
tough
though.
One, right? That's a tough one.
He shouldn't be getting that hurt.
I'll go Justin Fields just because I can't think of who he has protecting him.
Nobody.
That's fair.
Paper bags.
I didn't think so.
It's
Maybe
also possible. Anthony
Clementine.
Richards doesn't even start at the beginning of the season. So
that's very possible. Too.
Oh, guess what happens if that happens? Danny Dimes.
Oh yeah.
Danny Dimes.
Amazing.
We would like to thank one of this week's fake sponsors, Click Crate Organizer Cubes. Declutter fast with our cubes, where you snap, stack, and store in seconds. Click Crate Organizer Cubes. Organization has never been this easy. All right, everyone, shall we kick off this shindig?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mark, can you go on Shark Tank with your fake ads? We really like that.
Yeah, I like that one.
I do a fake ad for everyone's thing that they pitch, right?
I love that idea. The modular cubes you can combine and stack.
Grab somebody sexy, tell them, hey, give me first topic tonight.
Hey.
Give me first topic tonight. For all we know, we might not get tomorrow. We'll do it tonight.
Nice.
Hell yeah, Mark.
Was I clipping?
No, that was perfect.
All right,
I think backing off the mic was the right move.
So it was a blockbuster trade that no one saw coming 2 months ago. For whatever reason, Dallas decided to throw away a true NBA superstar in Luka Doncic for an Anthony Davis on the downward trend and a bunch of table scraps from the Lakers and Jazz. Now, current Mavericks GM Nico Harrison held a press conference earlier this week to attempt to legitimize the trade that he made, but he didn't really allow any recordings and also only invited local media. As most people expected, the Lakers started to skyrocket with 2 future Hall of Famers at the helm, with ultimately securing the number 3 seed in the West. And the Mavericks shot to mediocrity, especially after the previous sage-burning notorious NBA supervillain Kyrie Irving tore his ACL right before the playoffs. So everyone, do the Lakers stand a chance in the West, and will the Mavs GM get fired after this season?
Yes.
Double yes.
Yes.
Triple yes.
Oh, triple yes.
Really?
I'm excited for yes. Let's go. Let's go Lakers.
Listen, you made a gamble, and the Lakers made the playoffs, and you didn't. Right?
Yep.
I mean,
you think the Lakers can actually win in the West?
I mean, nobody's
get to the finals.
Nobody's beating the Thunder.
In the wise words of Shannon Sharp, Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, my cousin Anthony, Lakers in 5. I don't give a shit. We're taking it all.
Wow.
We're taking it.
I agree with that. I agree the Lakers are probably going to just annihilate the Timberwolves. Annihilate.
Well, I will say, I'm a big fan of Ant-Man, but I'm watching every single game. Like I'm glued to the TV because it'll be competitive.
Don't mess with my Paisan.
I don't think it's going to be that competitive.
I don't know during the season. Where did we finish the season versus them? I think we.
I don't know. I mean, I don't. I just don't. I don't trust the. I don't trust Minnesota's coaching because I feel like they are a better team really than their record shows. I don't know. We'll see. Because the Lakers don't really know how to play defense. They try.
We just score.
Yeah, they try.
Try to score more than the next guy.
I mean,
it was actually kind of amazing. Luka, when he first got to the Lakers, he was really trying to play defense. Like he was hustling.
Because the media was all over him for being lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also made for Showtime Lakers. Like Luka's born for that offense.
Yeah.
Like some of the passes he was pulling off in the beginning, and really even throughout the rest of that half of the season. I mean, he looks really sharp, really, really sharp. I think. But I said it when the trade happened, when we talked about it on the show. I think it was a real effort to win for the Lakers before Braun retires.
Yeah. Well,
I can't wait him to be the face of the team.
I mean, it's pretty much now or never.
Luka, yeah. And also, throughout the years in the history of the Lakers are essentially the Yankees basketball. People want to be on the Lakers. They do.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Did you watch that show on HBO, Herson, being a Lakers fan? The Showtime one about Magic?
Him versus like the Celtics in that history?
No, there is a drama that goes over Magic's first 2 seasons in the Lakers. And it's filmed in grainy 1980s film. It is a great sports show. And I'm not even a Lakers fan.
It's on Max. It's on Max.
Okay.
You should definitely watch it 100%.
I remember hearing about that.
So the if the Lakers make it past the Wolves, then they'll face either the Rockets or the Warriors. Which personally, I think the Warriors are going to win that series and not the Rockets. I don't know. What do you think, Herson?
I don't think the Warriors has round 1. No,
So they'll face the Rockets.
I'm not seeing it. Like I think Jimmy. Yeah, we'll face the Rockets. Like Jimmy is a great addition, but like they haven't been the Warriors that we all know them to be. Like they just.
What everybody knows to guard Steph. Just don't let Steph shoot. Then you're going to good shape.
They almost what happened the other night with the
play-in
game. Yeah, they barely got away with that. They were scrapping for that. So I don't know if they could pull it off.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they're a small team, like with Draymond like being their center at 6'9". Me being a 5'6" guy saying someone's small.
It's not big enough.
I mean, we'll see. They have the experience though, and Jimmy Butler is just a different player in the playoffs. I think so. That's why I think the Warriors are going to beat the Rockets, because the Rockets are not really a true number 2 seed. I think like there were 2 games separating like the 2nd and 8th seed or something like that.
I will say, I think it would be very entertaining to see the Lakers and the Warriors again.
Yes.
Where it could possibly be one of those two's last season, Steph or LeBron's. Well,
it better be Bron's last season.
I hope so. I hope it's his last season. But like,
I somehow don't think it's his last year.
I mean, if they win it all, I'm sure it is. That's his right off to the sunset moment, right?
I hope so. That's
the twilight of the superstars, of like the legends, of like Jordan should have went out and didn't play. Jordan's end was so sad. He like played baseball for a year, and he came back on the Kings. He just shouldn't have done any of that.
Well, no,
right?
I mean he won with the Bulls after coming back from baseball for like 1 year, I think, right? But then he did the stupid Wizards thing, and that was
2 years.
Oh yeah, the Wizards.
2 years.
Well, no. Then he came back on the Bulls and decided he was going to be awesome again.
Yeah,
and then he retired
with number 45, which was hilarious.
Oh my god, how amazing would his retirement have been if his last shot was that crossover against Byron Russell and that shot, the game-winning shot. That I mean, that's the fucking iconic Jordan moment right there.
I mean, fuck, if you're going to be a legend, right? If you're a legend, go out on top, right on top. That's why, like, I think Travis Kelce would have retired if they won the Super Bowl last year.
I think so too. Honestly, what else did he have to accomplish?
All right, so if I think the Lakers will beat the Rockets or the Warriors, depending on who makes it. So now we probably have Lakers and Thunder. So
the Lakers don't beat the Thunder.
Herson, what do you think?
Shea is another kind of player. Oh my God.
The Thunder have been difficult, but I'm going to ride with my man. I'm going to keep saying what Shannon Sharpie's been saying all season. Lakers in 5.
Okay.
Maybe 6. But
we should have done that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, no, that's good, and we're out of time.
Perfect.
Next topic in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. And we're gonna make you lose your mind. We just want to hear next topic.
All right. So Mark started it. Now to go to the other side. It's the end of the NBA season. As predicted, the New York Knicks have come in third. And while they had a successful season, it is no better than last year. Shockingly.
He fucking talks about the Knicks.
Hey, you fucking started it. Shockingly, the Knicks are 0-10 versus the top teams in the league, the Cavs, the Celtics, and the Thunder. And the Knicks will have to beat the 6th-place Pistons in the first round, which they should. So how do a healthy Knicks with the new discovery of a bench fare in this year's playoffs? And with an obvious financial commitment to winning, how far do they need to make it for Tibbs to keep his job?
You really think the Knicks have a bench?
Yeah.
You really think Tibbs is going to play the bench?
He has been. Brunson went down.
In the playoffs? Well, yeah. He only had to play the bench because he had to.
Yeah, he had to do it. He had to do it. And they were winning. They were like, oh, we all know how to play basketball. That's so weird.
I mean, how far do the Knicks have to make it? I actually really think that Tibbs is going to get fired if he doesn't make it, if he doesn't beat the Celtics? I don't think so. I really don't.
I mean, I did just
Jimmy
look
Dolan,
at the brackets.
Who knows what Jimmy Dolan's thinking about?
I did just look at the brackets. They do get the Celtics in the second round, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, they would get the Celtics in the second round. I don't know.
Which is unfortunate. Go Magic. Go Magic, everyone.
The Knicks have to find a way to make it past the second round. But
they do. They do. And I mean, last year, they were in a slog, and they beat the Sixers, but they were in a slog against the Sixers. I went into that series against the Pacers, and I was like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, wasn't it like kind of a war of attrition at that point with the Knicks? Like they just wore out.
Right. And I think that the solution that they picked, because the way the Pacers won that series is they just literally were punching Jalen Brunson. They were just they were beating the shit out of that poor man. So now there's a lot of weapons. They can pass it to Cat. Cat has had a great season. They can pass it to OG. OG had a great season. I mean, it's a good team, right? And then we're better than we were last year. But the fucked part is we still came in third, right? Still came in third. Can't beat good teams or the best teams. We can't beat the best teams.
What were you, 0-8 or 0-7 against?
0-10. 0-10 against the Celtics, Cavs, and the Thunder. We have not beaten one of those teams this year, and you got to beat them to advance. You have to.
Yeah. I just don't think they got the endurance for those teams. Like those teams have been to the finals, past the second round, and
deep benches, right?
Yeah.
So McBride had a great year. Precious had a great year. Those guys are playing minutes now, actually.
Precious.
I love it. There's a guy, one of the big guys. He's big. He's like 6'10", 6'11", Pete. His name is Precious.
I love it. That's great. That's almost as good as like naming somebody that big tiny.
I mean, I don't know. And the firing of the guy of the dude in Denver, I think that Tibbs is not doing things with the tools that he has, and maybe his style is.
Come on, that roster's still not better than the Celtics or the Cavs.
Yeah, do you feel like it's any stronger of a roster this year compared to last year?
I mean, yeah, it's stronger.
Okay,
it is stronger. But it's empirically stronger. OG is actually playing. Had a great year. Cat is probably top 5 centers in the whole league.
Yeah, and Mikal Bridges played 6 seconds to extend his current games playing streak.
And he won 4 games with Brunson down. He scored like 15 to 20 points a game. He had a great season. Everything they did was correct.
He plays 6 fucking seconds to extend that game's playing streak.
I mean, nobody played in that game. It was the last game of the year, and they didn't need it. Nobody
6
played in that
seconds.
Game. Oh, it counts. It fucking counts.
Bullshit.
He took the tip.
Did Cal Ripken ever play like a half an inning to extend that game playing streak? No, he didn't.
Yeah, but people were fucking dumb in sports in the 90s.
That was like last season, Josh Allen handing off once in the Bills-Patriots game just to keep his starting streak going.
Everybody does that shit, Mark. Everybody does it. Mikal Bridges...
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, when Brunson was down and Mikal Bridges ran that offense and he hit a game-winning shot, I was like, oh, this actually is a thing. He could actually play. I mean, I miss my Paisan.
It's so
I will always be a Dante fan
with his Knicks. So hopeful, especially like when they're winning. He's like, "Oh, please, Knicks, please win." Although I'm in agreement with John. The best Knicks teams, and Herson, I love to bring this up with John all the time, were the ones from the '90s with Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Charles Oakley.
Love that.
Those were the awesome teams.
Love that fucking team.
I have Knicks fans in my very inner circle, and the issue is that. Sorry, John. Most of you are just so stuck on like this nostalgic, what they used to be, and like as a Lakers fan, I get that, but like we have runs throughout these last few decades where you guys have just
Lakers have reinvented themselves like 2 or 3 times in the last 4 years, right?
And the Knicks haven't.
All right, Herson, I got to stop. No, it's okay. I'm going to stop you though. As a Yankee fan,
me too.
As a Yankee fan, I feel you because it's really easy to be good with the most storied team in sports. That spends the most money and gets the best players. It's easy to be good. That's what happens. We always have the best players. We always spend the most money. That being said, the Knicks have been bad for a long time. They have been. But this Knicks team, I don't think this Knicks team's bad. I don't think it's bad. And honestly, I think it's good. And I think it's better. I just think that the Celtics and the Cavs, as well as the Thunder, are just super, super good. I mean, they're the best teams that have been put together in the last 10 years of basketball. I mean,
listen, I want the Knicks to win. If the Knicks make it past the first round, and I will go to the Garden Center, buy a Knicks jersey, and I will be your number one fan because I would love to see the Celtics lose against the Knicks.
Me too.
You know we're going to that.
Dude, this sounds like a Scotch bet.
100% will be going to that.
Yes.
This kind of sounds like a Scotch bet.
I'm not making a Scotch bet because I expect the Celtics to beat them, but I will hope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I will hope. I would be at that game.
Scotch.
And it's the same fucking thing. The Celtics spent money that they don't actually have, and they don't have to spend it this year.
The rules there's a salary cap in the NBA.
I don't know about this, John.
I mean, they did.
The owner just decided to sell the fucking team before it went too crazy.
Victory Scotch is not won on hope alone.
No, I mean, I expect them to lose. I do. It's okay. I don't like to just give Mark $50. Mark, I mean, like, anyway. I love this year's Knicks just like I love last year's Knicks. They have heart. They play fun. Jalen Brunson's the best player I've seen in the Knicks since the 90s. And I don't know if they're good enough, but I will watch and I will hope.
It's so funny to see John hopeful.
Jalen Brunson.
It's a good way to end it.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
I see you driving around town with the sport I love, and I'm like, next topic. Woo, woo, woo. I guess the last topic just wasn't enough. I'm like, next topic. Yes, next topic.
I love how you turned like such a vulgar song.
I wanted to write more of that, but it's gonna get a little too long, I think, if I do that. Anyway, we mentioned this before, but the Denver Nuggets won an NBA title 2 seasons ago, led by 2-time MVP Nikola Jokic and head coach Mike Malone. Well, the latter is no longer true as of April 8th of this year, as the former franchise of Dikembe Mutombo, cut ties with their longtime coach of 10 years and a 471-327 winning record with just a week to go in the regular season. Some people believe this was due to opposing philosophies between himself and then GM Calvin Booth, but nothing has been publicly communicated. So everyone, why do we think the Nuggets fired Mike Malone?
I mean, I don't know. I don't.
And a week before before the end of the season, but right before playoffs?
I mean,
the timing doesn't seem very good.
A winning coach on a winning team who's won before. I mean, it has to be something political
or personal, yeah,
or personal.
I mean, I might be giving them too much credit, but they might know that they're going to be entering rebuild phase sooner than later.
Is that enough to pull
on it?
Well, they're kind of on the way down.
Before the playoffs.
That's what I mean. Well, what happens with most teams is they wait until they're like, oh, wait, we got to start rebuilding, and then they just start scrambling. Maybe they're getting ahead of it, but I feel like I'm giving them too much credit. Maybe
they're still the number 4 seed. Yeah, they're still the number 4 seed. It's like, all right, so they're probably not going to win the title, but they're going to do some damage in the playoffs. They're going to at least make it to the second round.
Yeah, and I mean, their draft stock is not going to improve that much if they just pretty much tank now. Like do
we know any contracts coming up on that team?
I mean, they got Jamal Murray. I think he's got for renewal, and not next year, but maybe the year after that.
Wow, the West is fucking wild.
Yeah,
between the 2 and 6 team is only a 3-game difference on the loss column.
Yeah,
and 3, 4, and 5 finished with the same record. That's wild.
There was a long stretch that seeds 2 and 7 were separated by 2 games. Wow. That's why I said the Rockets aren't really a true number 2 seed.
Yeah.
I don't believe that they're the second strongest team in the West.
But the West has always been the toughest generally.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. The Oklahoma lost 14 games, you guys.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They were approaching 70.
Woo, mama.
No one really talked about them being like the best team, like the Jordan Bulls or the Steph Curry Warriors, which is kind of funny.
I love watching Shea play. He's fun as hell to watch.
He is such he's a legitimate scorer. He's the best scorer since Kobe, I think.
I agree.
The man can just score from anywhere and any time he wants. It's amazing to watch him. It really is.
I might have to pay attention a little bit more since you just made that comment. To be determined.
You got to see that. SGA, man. SGA. He's gonna be the next MVP. He's gonna be the next MVP, I think. After
he averaged 32 points a game this season.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Super.
I mean, that's not even fucking fair. And he's 26. Oh my
so
god.
Young. He's so young. And no one, I think he was a relatively, he wasn't a high draft pick. I think he was like a medium draft pick from some no-name college. Research department, look that up, please. I mean, I don't know. We'll definitely see. But anyway, back to the Nuggets, though. I mean, this just seemed to come out of nowhere, and no one is really saying anything. Mike Malone made some public comment how he wanted to thank the people at Denver and how he's able to coach that franchise for 10 seasons, but he didn't really spill any beans or tea or anything like that. So I don't know. It definitely does seem like the coach and the GM butted heads, but why get rid of both? They're gonna get rid of both at the end of this year.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
zero
that's a weird
sense.
Move. That's a weird move. Give me the scandal at least, but.
And now you're going to go into the playoffs with. I mean, I believe the interim coach has been on the squad, but I mean, he's like a no-namer.
I mean, here's the deal: they maybe beat the Clippers, but they never beat the Thunder. There's no way. So who cares?
I don't think they're going to beat the Clippers. I actually don't.
You don't think so?
Kawhi's healthy. James Harden is playing better. I think the Clippers could beat the Nuggets.
But neither of them beat the Thunder. It's it's an unwatched waste of a game. I don't know. I don't even care.
Could you imagine
that they beat the Thunder? They beat the Thunder? Holy fuck.
All hell would break
the
loose.
Upset. Yeah.
Keep in mind, the Warriors that won 73 games did not win the title that year.
But wait, the Thunder had almost a similar record last year. Where did they end up after? What round did they lose?
I think they lost in the conference finals because the Mavericks made it to the finals last year.
Yeah. They could lose in round 2.
You never know. All right, I guess we're ending on that.
It's good.
I mean, we were pretty
much. I didn't know too much about this
that one.
No, there's not a lot. It's just not a lot.
It's just random. Yeah, it was a random Unless one of us follow it. Yeah, I don't follow them that closely.
All right. Cause I may be loud, but I'm perfectly good at it. Sports in the air, don't care, I love the smell of it. 6 and stones break my bones, but next topic excites me. Nah, come on.
Nah.
On point with these today, Mark. I don't know about the smell of sports though. That's a little bit. that was the one line in there that's kind of stuck with me.
All right, so you guys, Tuesday night's WNBA draft held very few surprises. UConn star, guard, and national champion Paige Beckers was drafted number 1 by the Dallas Wings, joining a backcourt led by 6-year vet Enrique Aguanbole. The first round was highlighted by a trio of European players, headlined by France's Dominique Malunga, drafted number 2 by the Seattle Storm. All in all, 38 women were selected to join the league, including Becker's teammate Caitlin Chen, who joins the league's first expansion team since 2008, the Golden State Warriors. Funny story, Caitlin just went to watch Paige get drafted and ended up getting drafted herself. So Paige Beckers has 3.6 million followers on TikTok, which I looked this up, is 3 million more than Caitlin Clark. With her joining the league, an expansion team, and 2 more expansion teams scheduled for 2026, are we witnessing the rebirth of the WNBA? And how does Paige impact the league differently than Caitlin Clark?
I'm not 100% sure she does. I think Caitlin Clark is still the number 1 person in the WNBA. But Paige Beckers is close. I don't even know. I don't even know if she's above Angel Reese at this point. Like, because Angel Reese is she can do it all, man.
Well, you know what
You know what Angel Reese did? Angel Reese won Unrivaled. She was the best player in Unrivaled. She was the defensive player in Unrivaled, and she won that. She totally rebirthed herself, and she was like, "This is my league," and that was cool as hell to watch, honestly.
I feel like Angel Reese, though, is kind of an embodiment of the combination of Kobe and Serena Williams, though, because she can be like, I think she's going to be that girl, like the athlete, and she's going to win titles, but she's also got a strong presence on social media and in fashion. Like, I think she's going to be the it girl.
And
so
she has a Shaq endorsement.
Yeah, and
okay.
Like while the league I think is leaning more towards Caitlin Clark, they really I believe I've said this on the show before. They need to pivot towards Angel Reese a little bit more, I think, because I feel like she's a total package.
And I'm gonna jump in. I think the followers might have something to do with it because I had to look this up, but Angel Reese is like at 5.5 or maybe a little bit more million followers, right? I think Caitlin Clark is still probably the better player, and she has the less followers. Sort of trying to revamp the viewership of WNBA. They don't really get my views that much, but these 3 women are grabbing people's attention.
Yeah.
I agree with some points, Mark, with Reese, but like when the spotlight's on her, I don't think she has it in her to also
really
be in the spotlight. I don't know, like from what I watch, like she doesn't come off better than Caitlin Clark. when the spotlight's on her. If she's the main subject of the conversation, she looks like not the best player out there. That's just from some of the stuff that I've seen. So I don't know if she could handle the attention when they're trying to call her the best. I'm like, well, not showing up sometimes.
She won a title with LSU against Caitlin Clark when she was in college, and she had a big she had a kind of a viral moment.
The John Cena moment.
The John Cena moment, right up to Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I don't know. We have always said, and I agree. I believe this strongly. I think that the women are much better at their images. I think they're better at social media than the men are. I mean, the men don't really need to a point, but I think that Paige, I think that Angel, Caitlin to a lesser degree, but I think that those two women, Paige and Angel, are social media monsters. Paige's TikTok following, I mean, she's a female icon. She's a gay pride icon. I mean, she is literally doing really cool things. She does a lot of dances
on TikTok.
She does a lot of dances.
Isn't that like the whole point of TikTok anyway?
No, it's not the whole point of TikTok at all. It used to be.
Started.
Right, that's how it started.
That's how it started. I think that what's cool as hell and that we're seeing is the Golden State Valkyries start this next year. Caitlin Chen getting drafted on the Golden State Valkyries. There's 2 teams coming in 26, and it's the first time in 20 years that they're getting new teams. Yeah. I mean, you look at it, the WNBA, this current version of it, is very small. The teams are small. There's less teams, but now Unrivaled
they're getting another one next year in Toronto, I believe, as well.
Yeah, Unrivaled made money, like real actual money.
And she's an investor in Unrivaled too. I was reading here.
Oh, and Paige Becker's she got signed with Unrivaled. I don't know if she's an investor.
No, she
right
is.
away.
She definitely is. It says I mean, her Unrivaled salary is
something completely wild that I found. The most popular Nike shoe right now is the Breanna Stewart shoe, and actually being worn by multiple men in the NBA. And I don't know if this is true, but I heard from Melanie, hey Melanie, that it has outsold Jordans in the years that it's been available.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, and Breanna Stewart, I think Breanna Stewart is she's a very good basketball player, but I think she's a brilliant businesswoman. I think that she is targeted Unrivaled in a way that I don't think anybody else has even thought of. I think that her shoe's success is partially due to her being good at this. And it's just a really cool time to watch. It's really a very impactful the way they're doing this, I think.
Sounds exciting. I mean, I think too, if you get enough of these stars together and you start having these rivalries between them take center stage, then you start kind of setting those like narrative dramas too, right? Like all the great leagues, right? You have these rivalries, these things where it gets personal, right? Between the superstars of certain teams, like NFL,
I mean, the Angel
and NBA, like they all have this going on. Like, so
the Angel Caitlin rivalry in the WNBA last year was a news story.
That's the thing, right?
Up.
Exactly. And that kind of stuff. That's why we watch sports. Like, yes, obviously for the sport itself, but also like for the personal emotion that comes with it too, right?
What are you gonna say, Herson?
To me, that makes a better television.
No, I was just gonna say, I think a little bit of the difference though is like, besides the WNBA one from last year, most of the rivalries start on the court. You know, like I feel like with WNBA, maybe they're kind of throwing it in the media and in these news articles, and kind of like we're not seeing it start on the court. We're seeing it start on social media, which to me affects that. Is it really a rivalry, or is it just people wanting to make something that's not there and turn it into something? So it kind of is just a little bit different, like from my point of view, where it's just like I'm not fully bought into it because it's just like drama that's being.
We talked a little bit about this in our last episode, how a lot of NFL rivalries and sports rivalries in general come from the fans. Like, Eagles fans want to talk shit against Giants fans and whatnot.
A lot of that happens too,
I mean, maybe social media, listen, everyone's on social media, and you never know. Maybe these will start kind of, igniting these feuds with fans for the WNBA, because that'd be huge for them.
Herson, do you feel like you'd recognize these rivalries more if, like, even if it starts in social media, if it does kind of catch fire on the court at some point, like it comes to a head, right, when those two teams play each other, and you do get some kind of physical, like emotional outburst between these two rivals in person, face to face.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for to happen kind of before you really believe it.
Yeah, exactly. Because then it's like you're essentially following it from the start of the story. But as the story starts online, I guess you just don't know where it started from. Like anyone could have started that. It was retweeted, it was reshared. But like if it starts on the court, you're like, oh, I remember that game. Like,
right.
Think about all these fights in NBA, or even the latest one with LeBron and Stephen A. Like that started on the court, but then you're like, oh wait, this has been happening for a few months now, but no one really picked up on it because it was outside of the court. And then when something happened on the court, it's just like everyone started paying attention.
Okay.
Yeah, and we are at time, but and I think that we're kind of skirting it. Leagues get good when they have superstars, and I think that the more superstars that exist in the WNBA and the NBA and the MLB, I mean, I think superstars make sports good. Players that are better than other players that do really cool, exciting things, players that almost beat Steph in the 3-point shootout, right? I mean, like, that's a cool ass story, And I think that we're in for more. The WNBA is growing, and I hope it continues. And we should move on.
All right.
We'd like to thank another fake sponsor, Glow Stitch Heated Hoodies. Cold days? No problem. Glow Stitch Heated Hoodies keep you warm with a tap of a button. Stay cozy. Stay charged.
I love this. I kind of want one of those.
Your ads are getting better, Mark.
Yes.
All the other kids with the next topic, you better run, how around my gun.
Oh, jeez.
Again, I could have gone on longer with that.
It's a tough song.
That's a tough song. The show's under attack, clearly.
So it has been well documented on this podcast that Marvel has been mostly on a downward trend since Avengers Endgame. And while we are all pod committed when it comes to Marvel, and will most likely continue to watching everything that they do, an overwhelming majority of their content and movies especially have been lackluster. Most recently, though, they've released a couple of series that bring us hope, especially with the most recent Daredevil Born Again series. Charlie Cox portrays Matt Murdock and definitely sets aside any remaining memories of Ben Affleck. And Vincent D'Onofrio returns to his third series as the Kingpin. With an 87% on Rotten Tomatoes currently, which would tie it with Loki as the highest rated Marvel series, the ninth rated highest Marvel series, just below Hawkeye and WandaVision. So everyone, is Daredevil Born Again the best thing we've seen on Marvel television? And does it give us hope for future series and movies?
So, Mark, I'm assuming you're caught up. I know Pete didn't watch it. Herson, have you watched Daredevil Born Again?
Yes, I just finished the finale last night.
Fucking A, guys, this fucking show.
So, do I need to fast track this one? Because it's on my list to watch.
I think, did you watch the rest of the Netflix MCU, Daredevil, Defenders, that whole nonsense? Are you all caught up with all that?
Who, me?
Yeah, you. I'm asking you.
I mean, I worked on it.
Okay. Yes.
So, yeah.
What a humble brag. What a humble brag.
Yes.
Yes.
You should watch.
I did.
You want to watch a superhero show,
I watched all
you
the
should
Netflix.
Watch it next.
Yes, I watched all of Jessica Jones and Daredevil and the Defenders. And I watched,
Here's
I think,
the
a little
thing
bit of
about
Luke
this
Cage.
Show.
I did not think Iron Fist was any good, so I didn't watch that.
Iron Fist was bad.
No.
Iron Fist was bad. Here's the fucking thing about this show. This is and I know the rankings aren't as high, but this is the best show Marvel's ever put out.
Well,
yes.
And it's because it's the most complete television show.
Is it as well written and paced and gritty as the original Netflix one?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Then I'm all in.
100%.
Because I fucking love those shows.
And here's the thing about this show that's good. A, we have a villain that we sort of relate to. While he's a fucking crazy person, we understand it, which is amazing.
He has a code.
And we see the characters not fit stereotypes. So Daredevil is kind of doing a whole bunch of shit that he probably doesn't want to be doing, but he's they have set up his stress really well. It's so good. It's just good. The cinematography is great. They do a ton of shit with light, a ton of shit with camera angles. They're doing like focus things on his like super hearing. I mean, mwah.
Herson, what do you think? Is this the best Marvel series you've seen?
That's a tough one because I'm a big fan of WandaVision and Loki. Like Loki had replay value for me. I think Loki had an unfair advantage because the character development has been seen through all the Marvel movies as well. So, he's been around a little bit longer. For Daredevil, though, I guess I'll rank this as number 2. Is that probably second best?
I almost feel like they're apples and oranges to me.
I really like the street Marvel street level, like all the street level comics. I really like all of that a lot. Like Spider-Man, far and away my favorite character.
Yep.
I think very lightly, whoa, why didn't Spider-Man show up at the end of Daredevil? We don't think about that too hard.
Well,
we're probably not going to,
because he was in the movie. He was in freaking No Way Home, so like that's my grudge. If you're in No Way Home, why can't I get a cameo in the TV show? I get it. Tom Holland might be a very big actor, and he might, I don't care.
So Pete, you can understand without giving away what happened. The finale has a very traumatic event happen in New York City for multiple hours.
Yes.
In a world where...
Well, it's all connected to the MCU now, right?
Well, in a world where this is the same universe, and they are, I believe, saying this is the same universe.
They're essentially a few blocks away from each other.
Where the fuck is Spider-Man? Where the fuck is Spider-Man?
He's busy.
I didn't know if I could curse like that, but thank you.
You can curse as much as you want.
You can.
This show's
you
not
are allowed.
For kids. I mean, I don't know. But I think very lightly because I think the show lives on its own, which I think for any show that exists in such like a convoluted universe, for it to exist on its own, I think is a real big compliment for it.
Yeah, and
do you think that's why the Rotten Tomatoes rating got a little hit because Spider-Man didn't make a cameo?
I mean, that's fucking stupid. It's stupid that there's a whole...
Yeah, it would be nice.
You could have just did something simple. Like,
where's Moon Knight? Where's Moon Knight? Like, where are all these guys that could just wipe this problem away? Like, all right, everything's good.
I mean, even if you just have a 1 or 2 line reference to be like, hey, like, isn't it like Spider-Man that couldn't even see? He's like, oh, that guy? I don't know who. He's not going to help us. Like, that'd be kind of, at least then you could have a laugh about it.
The show, though, proves that it exists in this universe. They reference the Skrulls, and you meet Kamala Khan, who is Miss Marvel's dad.
Well,
he shows up.
Don't forget the original.
Go ahead.
Real quick.
Here's another cameo they forgot about. Not that I would rewatch it ever again, but Daredevil also made a cameo in freaking She-Hulk.
Oh my God, She-Hulk!
Yeah, that's
Where's
right.
She-Hulk?
Right. Didn't he help her out with
he's like? Yeah,
no,
exactly.
They like dated a little bit.
They kind of made a little glimpse or like a little hint that he has a thing for defending vigilantes, but like that's not enough for me. Like
didn't Charlie Cox cameo in one of the Spider-Mans too?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay, so there's definitely had that connection. Yeah.
He had a good 3-minute scene.
I was gonna say, wasn't he like
he's a really good lawyer?
Like damn good lawyer or whatever.
Which he says again in the show, I'm a really good lawyer. Like the connected.
That's his thing. But like, don't forget too, even in the original Netflix series, they reference frequently the incident in New York, right, where the aliens from the first Avengers movie, like the whole Daredevil series takes place in the. It was a couple times, and you saw it in like newspaper headlines.
Yeah, they weren't too sure yet if they wanted to mix the universes, but I do remember the thing you're talking about. They
threw Easter eggs all over though, so it's there if you look for it. But you're right, they didn't hit you over the head with it. That's true. They kept it subtle, so like fans would pick up on it, but they weren't like, hey, we're definitely going to make sure that everybody knows. So I hear you.
And then here's another thing when we'll talk about this next, so we won't get too far into it. But like, I don't know where these guys are going to go when there's a major Avengers level threat in 2 weeks in New York City with the Void. I just don't know it's like, and that's a lot of nerd rage. I get it. It's supposed to be fun. Don't think about it too hard.
It's a lot easier.
Don't think about it.
It's a lot
Don't
more
think about it
affordable
too hard.
to draw all those characters in the same page than it is to get all these actors in the same spot to
Don't
shoot.
think about it. Yeah, Don't think about it too hard, John. I want more grit. The thing that I think they're realizing is that everyone who watched them in Phase 3, which was now like 12 years ago, they're 12 years older. And I'll tell you what, I wasn't sure they were going to do it, but this show was violent as hell.
Yeah,
Punisher killed a
Disney
whole
Plus.
lot. Punisher killed a whole lot of people. Punisher killed.
I think there was an
Awesome.
F-bomb in one of the episodes too, wasn't there?
Well, I was gonna say I don't even think
nice.
Disney Plus is like a kid thing anymore because now they're
No.
throwing Hulu stuff in there. Like they got Hulu mixed
Yeah,
in, so it's just
That's
like
true.
it's just a name now. It's just another platform because the whole like how they
And
started.
you can lock
is
it down.
not-
You can
Yeah.
lock down your profile so your kids can't log into them.
Exactly
which is
right.
What they did.
You have Disney Kids. You have right. It can be a tiered like level of.
Anyway, Pete,
maturity.
fast track that shit. It's totally worth it.
I will.
Probably the best thing they made since WandaVision for me.
Yeah, PK your shit together. Hurry up.
I know. We just caught up. So Steph and I just caught up on Yellow Jackets. That's a good show too. It's freaking crazy. It's the batshit crazy, but it's fun.
Well, put that shit on pause and catch up.
No, we finished that one, so we can start something. We can maybe start something new. We do have a lot though we're trying to get through. So I got to remind Steph like, oh yeah, we got to do Daredevil because that
Karen
is on
likes
the list.
Karen has a lot of boyfriends.
Karen Page.
Karen Page. Lot of
That
boyfriends.
is a true fact.
So I found out
Alright,
that the actress plays D&D too, which I find really funny. She's like a super.
Deborah Wool is like
Deborah
amazing.
Wool's like a super nerd in real life. I love it.
Well, actually, so you brought it up. She actually is like a super nerd, introvert. When she got the role in True Blood, she was like, I'm not this person. She was like, I don't. And they made her like kind of like a skanky vampire, and she's very pretty, but like. She was like, I don't know. And so once she
That's
was done
funny.
acting, then she was like, I just want to run D&D campaigns. So she's a professional DM. She's a professional DM. Actually,
Yeah.
very watchable.
They showed her teaching
Watch
some
her.
other celebrities how to play D&D.
No,
I found that
watch her. And Google Deborah Ann Wool and John Barenthal, who plays the Punisher. Deborah Ann Wool goes to John
Yes,
Barenthal,
it was
who
him.
is a ex-Marine.
I just
He
think
was
of him
like,
as
"Hey, you wanna
Shane
play-
from The Walking Dead.
You want to play D&D with me? And he's like, what the fuck is that? I don't know. Sure, whatever. Very watchable. They play like,
Yeah.
they do like a little like 5-minute, like she's like, all right, you're walking in the woods, and just walks him through a whole scenario.
That's funny.
And it's amazing. It's amazing.
That might have been the biggest tangent this show's ever gone on. We went from superhero Marvel to like, who plays D&D?
You know,
Just imagine the Punisher playing D&D. That's all. Just imagine.
All right.
it
This is where we
organically
are.
got there.
All right, moving on. Ready?
Okay.
You're moving on.
Popping bottles in the ice like a blizzard. When we drink, we do it right. Getting slizzers, sipping scissor in my ride hot like a 3-6. Now I'm feeling so fly for next topic. I did that in a weird key.
That's okay.
It's so,
It worked.
Mark, it was worth it. It
Yes.
was worth it, man.
Is there really a key to that song? It's kind of just spoken anyway. So you're fine.
All right. So the topics are really connecting very thematically today. So I'm very happy
Yeah,
about
you think we
that.
coordinated
It's a
this.
very
It's like
thematic
we
show.
almost-
Yes.
All right. So it's almost summer movie season, and we did just talk about it. And we at this show are very excited about the release of the Thunderbolts, *, on May 2nd. This is the first major MCU crossover film since Phase 3, where more than a handful of characters from previous films and projects will play a starring role. So, talking about the Thunderbolts, are we in store for another Avengers level film, or is this joint going to be more fan service with a lost plot and very little substance? More importantly, which we just talked about, where will Spider-Man and Daredevil be while the New York faces the threat of the Void?
Go for it. Harrison.
And just to clarify, because I don't think I wrote that very well, I think that this film, like the like Infinity War, like Endgame, this is the first one that has like multiple pieces that have been really well drawn out. We have multiple appearances of the Lena Belova Black Widow. We have multiple appearances of Bucky now. who's a little older and a little more wise. We have multiple appearances of all the characters, to be honest. And I guess some of them are very forgetful, like Ghost in the one Ant-Man movie, but some of them aren't forgetful. Like we're talking about what's his face? My brain just shut off. Like David Harbour, who is very unforgettable, right? David Harbour played a big role and was very, very charismatic. So I think this film is going to be good, and I think it's going to be good for the reasons that we liked Infinity War, because we care. We care about the characters.
Yeah, Herson, I'm surprised that you're not like super looking forward to this, because this sounds like it's going to be almost Avengers level. Just with, I mean, there's been a lot of little build up for it. I think because there's been a lot of anticipation for this particular movie, but the fact that it's Yelena Belova, Florence Pugh is it's centered around her character. Like she's kind of the main one, and everyone else is kind of like supporting her and whatnot. But it's Florence Pugh. I've mentioned this before. I love everything that she's done, and Yelena Belova just has that perfect witty, dry humor. I think that really relates with a lot of people, and the fact that David Harbour is on there too, so they have that witty.
He's funny as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, the
absolutely.
Here's why this is probably like not hasn't been top priority like most Marvel movies are for me. I think with the premiere of Fantastic Four later this year, it's kind of taking the limelight in my eyes. I'm more excited for that.
Are we psyched for Fantastic Four?
Interesting.
I know. If you saw the new trailer today.
I did see the new trailer today.
I cannot wait for that. Yeah, I'm excited. But to your point in the beginning, like I feel like it's just more. It's gonna be a lost plot. There's gonna be a whole bunch of confusion. And it's just like, where's everybody else? And what the hell was the point of this movie? Unless they give me a Suicide Squad ending, that I would enjoy.
I think that's what they're maybe going for.
This almost seems like a Marvel Suicide Squad, right?
And that's what it feels like. But I'm expecting disappointment. So I
guess
I want it to be, but I'm just gonna try to.
Well, you know what I think is a good step that they're making. Instead of just giving us Sentry and having him be overpowered, doing the Sentry storyline where he turns into the Void, which happens in the comics, I think it's really good, because now we have this Avengers level threat, this like overpowered villain, and the story for a lot of it is that they know they don't stand a chance. They know it. They're like, we cannot beat this guy. Like Bucky goes to punch him and he's just like, no, what are you doing? I'm Superman. I'm literally Superman, but I'm evil. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just don't know these stories and these characters as well, and maybe that's part of it. And it's no matter how good the actors and actresses are, and there are some phenomenal ones, like Mark already mentioned.
I mean, did you see Black Widow, Pete?
Yeah, and it was hilarious. It was great. And I mean, yes, I liked everything about it, I guess, but it's just, to me, I don't know, maybe it's just lacking the gravitas or the spectacle that built up to that original Avengers team up. Like, you had these kind of like A and B list Marvel characters, for that first run that we were all just like, oh my God, it just came out of nowhere. And you had big names. And here you still have great actors and there is some star power, but it's not quite at that level. And it's maybe it's like one of those things where, right, you become a professional athlete and everybody's freaking amazing. But the difference between the top and the bottom is not that much, but it's enough to make a difference of like 2 wins and 12 wins, I'm
going to ask you an interesting question. Okay. Is this less impressive because Avengers already did it? And so 12 years ago, there was not really anything like a major team up movie with multiple films to build it up. Like a studio never committed to making, 6,
sure,
let's just say,
okay,
$100 million movies in order to make one $300 million movie, right?
Yeah, that
never happened before.
That could definitely be part of it, right? Like we've talked about that, I think, in previous episodes too. Sort of the the superhero fatigue, right? That was a whole topic that we did in a previous season. But
well, I mean, just less fatigue and more. This is a thing that we, as
we've been there
as a
already.
pop culture community, we've already been there.
Yeah.
We already had Avengers Infinity War. We already had that.
Okay, now here's a fun thought experiment. Reverse them. What if this Marvel set of phases and build up to this Thunderbolts thing happened first? Right, so they're the first
that's what I'm saying. I think that would be fine.
Would it be anywhere near as big as the Avengers one was?
So here's I don't.
If you flip flop the two.
If this was first, I think the difference is, I think we would all be excited for another Infinity War if they did it. If they copied and pasted what they did for the Infinity War saga, I think we would all love it. I don't think it's because we've seen it before. I think it's just like you just mentioned, Pete. People don't know these freaking characters. Like some of us do. Like I do. Sure, I read the comics, and like I'll tell you, I didn't pick up every Black Widow comic, but I fell in love with Black Widow, the character, through the Infinity Saga because she was in almost every single movie, and you just saw her from being this spy that had that one mindset to like hugging Hawkeye's kids and being like an aunt. Like, wait, what happened in between that? You saw that character fully evolve. Where like, besides Bucky on the team, I don't care about anybody else.
Yeah,
like it's just the reality of it, though. Yeah,
no,
like,
but
besides Bucky, no one else mattered on that team.
I'm not going to tell you that I care about U.S. Agent or I care about Ghost because I don't. There are little tiny references, right? But I care about Yelena Belova. I do.
Yeah.
There are
Black Widow was very good,
David Harbour's character.
And she came up in a lot of things, right? So she was in what is the there have
Echo.
been many moments where
Echo.
She was an Echo. Right, she was an Echo. They hit us with her coming back from the snap. Like we've seen her development. We've seen her be sad about the loss of the ScarJo Black Widow. I mean, and they're going to touch on that. I think that's the connective tissue, and I don't think it's these like B-list guys. I don't think it's Abomination, and I don't think it's U.S. Agent. Even though we've seen U.S. Agent in things, right? We like the Captain America.
Have?
Yeah, he was in the Captain and Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier show,
yeah, he was in that show. He's like the Captain America when Sam didn't want to be Cap for a little while.
He was a bad guy for like 20 seconds.
He's a bad guy for like 20 seconds, has the super soldier serum, like all the things. So like we've seen these guys, but I like the James Gunn has taught me that I like a team up movie, like a kind of an unimpressive band of misfits, and that's what I think they're going for. So we'll see.
Right.
We will see. Time will tell, right, Mark? No, we're out of time.
Fun fact, ScarJo is an executive producer on Thunderbolts.
Hell yeah. And I want to know what the asterisk means.
Where's the
asterisk?
On the title. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's I forgot that was there.
Well, and here's the thing, right?
Sneaky asterisks.
In our progression of the timeline, Thunderbolt Ross is now on the raft in prison, so it's probably not a coincidence that it's named this. So we'll see how that works. Anyway.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to. The next topic theme is 2011. By the way.
Great job, Mark.
Oh,
way to remind us.
I did not rehearse this one. I don't know how this is gonna go. Ready?
It's okay.
Boy, you got my heartbeat running away, beating like a drum, and it's coming your way. Can't you hear that boom ba-da-ba boom ba-da-ba boom ba-da-ba? That next topic. Boom ba-da-ba boom ba-da-ba boom ba-da-ba. That next topic.
You did
really
very
good,
well, man. That was pretty flawless.
That's another weird key. That's another weird key.
That was smooth if you didn't rehearse that.
Yeah, that was pretty good, Mark.
The alcohol.
I could not have done that.
Anyway, Nico, I am a Lieva. I am Alieva.
And again,
the concentration just wore off.
Nico I am Alieva is probably not a name that anyone on this podcast has heard of before, especially before I stumbled on it. But he made news by publicly telling everyone that the University of Tennessee's NIL deal with him was not sufficient enough for a starting quarterback who just led an SEC team to the playoffs. Now, there are multiple reports of him receiving about $2 million, but he wanted at least twice that much. Unfortunately, the two were not able to come to terms, so he entered the almighty transfer portal, and he will now be on the USCLA's team next season. So everyone, do we believe we will see more and more players leave schools and enter transfer portal deals and publicizing their NIL deals?
yes, next topic.
There's like no line between college and professional sports anymore, right?
No, not at all.
No.
You're gonna have people being like free agents and flying between teams and trades, and I mean that's really all we're missing at this point.
Here's the thing. I 100% believe that these kids deserve to be paid for their likenesses. Their colleges make a lot of money. They make a lot of money. D1 sports is very, very profitable, right?
Yeah. Like
now,
right when the institution is
Only
is
some,
a for
only
profit,
really football and basketball.
right? But like when the
To be
institution is
fair.
for profit, why can't the players who
It's
are
not for profit though.
colleges?
NCAA is
are?
not
I mean, they make a
for-profit.
lot of money.
They make a shit
make
ton
a
of money.
lot of
Well,
money.
NCAA itself is not for profit though.
Okay, no, but the universities that host the teams that are
I mean,
in that
when
league
I am a quarterback for a D1 school and I fill a stadium, let's just say, of 80,000 people, those 80,000 people buy $12 beers and $12 hot dogs.
Well, that is yes,
$12
is
hoodies.
unfortunately going back to the school.
right, but
$100 hoodies.
but those-
It's a business.
yeah,
They make a lot of money.
and those butts are in the seats because of the players that are there. So like
100%.
why should they not have a
Exactly.
cut of it, right?
Well,
They should.
I guess I'm waiting to see big cuts to other sports, like the sports that aren't the big money makers, like the crosses, the field hockeys, the track and field. Track and field doesn't make a
Yeah,
lot of
but
money, but a lot of people do
if-
it.
Thanks, Mark. I
If you
appreciate
have
the
a
track and field
billion
shout-out.
dollar, if you have $1 billion product in, let's just say, FSU football, right? $1 billion product, and why can't you have other sports? Who cares?
Yeah,
I
don't
mean,
forget-
who cares?
Don't forget those kids playing those sports probably have full rides for these schools. So like, they're getting paid, just not probably the way these other players are getting paid, but to the point of like these other players are bringing in. How many people are showing up to a track meet? Like,
Well, okay.
No,
some
you
of
know,
the
like-
track meets are pretty big.
no,
They're not.
I'm sure. I'm not saying. I did track. I'm not saying that some
They're not
aren't-
bringing in millions of dollars.
No,
though.
no,
but they're
it's not
yeah,
on the same
dollar for
scale
dollar,
as
they're
right.
not. Yeah, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
I admit that.
You can go to
If
a
I-
track meet and show up with your own water bottle. You can't do that to a basketball game.
That's the
Right.
the tipping point.
So all
I
I'm
like it.
saying, and I get it, because also on the flip side, the competition in college sports is now going to be non-existent in the schools that aren't profitable. All the schools that don't have 40,000 people, the schools that don't have 100,000 seating stadiums. I mean, the ones that don't make money won't be good.
And we
But that
kind of talked
is-
about this last episode, right? Because 14 SEC teams made the national tournament for basketball, of which SEC schools bring in a lot of money because of football. So obviously they must be helping some of these other basketball athletes to pay them through NIL.
Right. And when was the last time that 4 number 1 seeds actually made it to the Final Four?
Well, it's only happened one other time, and I believe that was 2018. But 2 of the 4 Final Four were from the SEC.
Right.
But you're going to have, listen, we've already seen this in professional sports. The rich getting richer, the Dodgers. How much do you love to hate the Dodgers, John?
Hate those.
They're the
fucking
ones
guys.
spending all this money. Well, guess what?
It's really
this is going to happen in
you know
college
what?
sports
It's
now.
really not fair.
This is going to happen in college sports now. All right?
I know.
It used to be an equal playing field because you couldn't pay these players. And now that you can, say goodbye to that.
So
You know,
how
one of
do
my
you-
favorite movies.
Is there a way to
You know,
regulate
one of my
this?
favorite
then?
sports movies is one of my favorite sports movies ever is Blue Chips, which is about college football and about how these players are not allowed to get paid, but they still do.
I thought Blue Chips was basketball.
Blue Chips was basketball. There's another one about football. They both have the same plot. The players don't get paid, and they do.
Are you thinking of Varsity Blues?
No, shut up. I'm not thinking of Varsity Blues. It's not about college at all.
So, I mean,
players, when they weren't allowed to get paid, got paid. They did. And the point is, they're going to get paid, but now they're going to get paid above the table instead of under
Bush
the table.
got paid at USC. We all know that.
Yeah. Less hookers, right? Just less hookers. Maybe the same amount of hookers, but maybe not paid in hookers.
Just not on the books anymore.
Right.
Rick Pitino learned that lesson.
What were you going to say, Pete?
I was going to say, like you have all these different conferences and leagues within the college sports structure. Like, so maybe within those specific leagues, like you have different regulations or rules for caps or of specific players, maybe positions, maybe it's, I don't know how you regulate it, but similar to like a salary cap in professional leagues.
Nope.
Can't do that?
Nope. It's just like Major League Baseball. No salary cap, no rules.
Maybe a soft cap? I don't know.
Not even a soft cap. You can pay college athletes as much as you want, which is why also some college athletes, like now they're staying in college a little bit longer because they have some really sweet deals and they know they're not going to make as much in the in professionals.
Yeah.
And my friend Pete said, if you were a 22-year-old blue chip college athlete, why not get paid when you're young and healthy before your ACL blows out?
I'm pretty sure I did
100%.
say that. I couldn't tell you what season that was, but yeah, it definitely came up.
I don't know. Hopefully that makes the major league a little bit better for those that are staying in college a little bit longer.
Maybe. Yeah.
Mark, I think
is it that time?
I think I'm talking about the program.
What do you mean you're talking about the program?
The show?
The movie, the program.
Movie, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's time. I think it is.
It's the final topic.
Nice.
Fucking love you guys.
Herson, real.
You can't overuse the reverb button.
Whenever that song comes on the radio now, all I hear is
that's all I got.
It's the final topic. Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
I don't even know the regular lyrics anymore.
Nope. It's always the final topic.
All right, so Herson being here gave me a reason to just have a lot of comic book movie questions. And so we're going to talk about the flip side of the coin. James Gunn's DCU is busy making content. Supergirl,
he needs to go home.
And shut up. It's wonderful. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow has finished filming with Jason Momoa being confirmed as his dream character, Lobo. And there are rumors of Jensen Ackles being cast as Batman on the heels of the Supernatural reunion in The Boys Season 5. The TV lineup is also full, with another season of Peacemaker, a Green Lantern show, as well as tons of other stuff. So with the MCU clearly struggling with superhero fatigue, is there room for the DCU in the current version of pop culture? And the addition of James Gunn aside, where was all this content 10 years ago?
Good question.
James Gunn needs to get fired, and DC needs to sell everything to Marvel and start over from scratch in 5 years.
Wow!
Damn! Wow!
Yeah.
Hot take.
Wow. Do you feel like James Gunn was a much better fit for Marvel than he is for DC?
I mean, barely. He did great with Guardians of the Galaxy, and then he just hit the scene with Guardians of the Galaxy. I know he's written a few other things. I've seen some of his other stuff. Cool. But everyone knows him from Guardians of the Galaxy. And he thought he could take that and throw it into this universe that's a lot more dark comics, and it just doesn't work. Just stop. Just
So did you like Peacemaker too? Or not Peacemaker. No. I mean Peacemaker, sure. But Peacemaker as well as Suicide Squad, the second movie? You didn't like them?
Really?
They were too silly?
I like the first Suicide Squad. I enjoyed that second one. I wish I got my money back at the theater.
See, I gotta tell you, the first one is not that, for me at least, not that good of a film.
It's not that it was.
And I like 2. 2 was, I think, really very well, like, very good.
It wasn't that it was like a good film. It just. Are we Star Wars fans in this group? I'm assuming so, right?
I mean, I'm fans of everything.
Yeah. So, like,
Casual
Rogue
Star Wars
One was like a genuinely Suicide Squad. Like, so Suicide Squad was like the first concept of a movie like that, like where, like, I guess every character, there's really no main character. So I like the concept. Not that it was like a great film because the bad guy was just too large and just didn't really make all the sense. But like. James Gunn Suicide Squad 2 was just like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah,
like, there was just no.
But here's the thing, man. That's DC. DC is filled with stupid characters with shitty names, and they were commenting on that. Those guys, like the fucking polka dot guy, that's a real fucking character.
It's real fucking.
It really is.
I guess the issue is he highlights that in that way, which makes it less fun. But when you read those guys from like a comic book standard or like point of view, they're a lot more dark and like mysterious and like intriguing, right? Like all of Batman's guys are some type of mental task. They're not physical, they're just mental challenge as far as like figuring out the puzzle. But James Gunn writes them in a way of like, this is fucking stupid, and I'm 33 years old, I don't want to watch this shit right now. Like,
so do you feel like maybe
it feels silly?
I think with DC, it's like, or any like really good show, right? You have to kind of toe the line with a comic book adaptation of being serious or like deep, but also being a little bit self-aware and like lighthearted. So do you feel like he went too far over the line? Like he didn't toe the line well enough for this?
I think he just went straight Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, it's just they could be silly and fun, and
I mean,
I feel like so much with that.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you,
feel like those characters that fit his style better.
The whole DC schedule right now is filled with that shit. Like Booster Gold, there's going to be a Booster Gold show. Like you should probably just not watch any of them.
I'm not. I watched every single DC movie, and the first DC movie I did not watch in theater, and I had yet to watch on my couch is Aquaman 2. Like
he didn't write up. That's a Snyder film, though.
That was before.
I know. But I say that to say that was kind of like the mark of like, I don't see the direction of this studio anymore, and I don't
disagree. I think that
I've lost interest.
I think that they were flailing. They were flailing pretty hard, and I think that's one of the reasons that Gunn got the job. And
even
I
between
think that
Wonder Woman 1 and 2, there was a big difference. I thought.
I also think one of the reasons he got the job is because, and whether or not you like them is besides the point. I think that Peacemaker was very popular, like very, very popular, and I think on top of that, Suicide Squad 2, which kind of birthed Peacemaker, I think was very popular. Those shows did very, very well, and actually, if you watch the animated stuff, Creature Commandos, which is on Max right now, awesome, so good, really dark, super violent, really good. And James Gunn has said now that the only things that exist in his canon of the DC universe are things that are either mentioned in Creature Commandos or happen after Creature Commandos.
I might have to hop on that. I like DC animated stuff. I don't think
they've always killed animate. They've always been the best.
I might have to jump on that.
It's very, very good.
I get to take, like, for me, and like I like to pick up on things other people don't notice that are when they're written well. Like Wonder Woman 2 might not have been like one of my favorites, but like if you pay attention to the ending when everyone's looking into the light and the fact that what's that Batman versus Superman starts with that same light theme song and the same song. Like those are things really that are just written well and like it's just like, okay, I gotta
tell you, together. When she started flying, I almost got up. I was like, Wonder Woman doesn't fucking fly. What are you? Stop it. Yeah. Go away. Go away. Why would she fly?
Again, I think they lost their direction a long time ago, and James Gunn is chaotic.
Cheetah's a bad villain. They really they struggled.
That one was rough for us to watch.
The weird gold, I really liked the weird gold suit. Like I don't know,
made no sense.
And the first one was so good. I don't understand.
And she's super she's the strongest woman in the world, right? Completely self-sufficient.
Sure.
So awesome. And she's just like, oh, but my boyfriend's back.
Yeah, it just seems a little weird. It seemed a little weird.
Oh my god! Stop.
Yeah, it seemed.
I think the first one did so good because they literally looked at the first Captain America and was like, "Let's just do that."
And
then when they realized they couldn't copy Marvel anymore, they tried to do their own thing and failed.
Yeah. Speaking of the success of DC animated stuff,
that is a true fact.
Can we? I poured another thing. Can we have a shout out to the Super Friends, the OG DC cartoon?
No. Damn, I'm sorry.
Dude, that was staple of my childhood, man.
At least say Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, okay, Batman the Animated Series.
Okay, fine. Sure, fine. That was when it was actually good.
What's everyone's favorite right now? DC animated. Go ahead.
Animated?
I mean, Creature Commandos, honestly. Creature Commandos was great.
I wrote that down. I'm gonna have to watch that. I'll tell you right now.
I'll check that out. That's on Max, you said?
Yeah, it's really good.
It has the most replay value for me is Young Justice. I can rewatch that all day.
Oh, Young Justice was great. And actually, so when my daughter was, she's 12 now, but when she was getting into animated shows, she was finding all of that, like the Justice League, Young Justice, and like Teen Titans, and all these things, and like,
for those early 2000s.
1 second, I was just like, wait a second. I was like, you can't watch this anymore. She's like, why? It's animated. I'm like, Batman and Wonder Woman are sleeping together, and there's a lot going on, you guys. It's a little complicated.
So I will say, like, some of the Justice League stuff in their early aughts, like when Warner Brothers was running all that stuff, that was pretty cool. And I remember there was a scene, this will be kind of fun. It was like Superman's birthday, and Wonder Woman and Batman are walking in like the Fortress of Solitude to give him a birthday gift, and they're like,
"Oh yeah,
yeah." And they're like, "Dude, it's his birthday, but it's Superman." It's like, "What do you give the guy who has everything?" And that's what Wonder Woman asked Batman. And she's like, "What did you give him?" And Batman's like, "Cash." He said an envelope with some money in it.
Okay, so we're out of time, but there's a scene in Young Justice where Nighthawk and Sunfire they're dating, and like Sunfire is helping the Young Justice spar, and Blue Beetle and Raven are fighting, right? So these are two incredibly powerful characters, and Blue Beetle, the suit has a mind of its own, right? This is this alien suit that is self-aware, and it just increases power and increases power and increases power, and all of a sudden it hits Raven so hard that she goes down, and he's like, I think I killed that girl. And you're like, wow, this is animated. You're like, this is deep as hell.
Yeah,
it's heavy.
Anyway, they write that show well.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, so that has been our topics. We will be back next week with our friend Matt Mazzola. In the meantime, you can catch up on our old episodes on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/@iftheseballspod. And don't forget to subscribe to us by tickling that little bell. we would like to thank our guests for joining us this week. Thank you, Herson.
Thanks, Herson.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, guys.
You can all follow or like us on our socials at @iftheseballspod on X, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Our website is www.iftheseballscoulddtalkpod.com. This is Mark Pesci here for my partner John Campania and producer Pete Steffen. That's what we feel they would say if these balls could talk.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
If these